What is up, everyone? Happy Friday, September 27th, 2024. We are trucking towards week 4 of NFL action, and that means it's time to start thinking about setting your lineups for your fantasy football rosters this weekend. We've got a lot of weird stuff going on this week, Matt. Injuries, they're not getting any better. It's getting actually a hell of a lot worse in that landscape. I think we're getting to a point with some of these situations. If you drafted, let's say, Devonta Smith, then you got Tank Dell a little bit later, right? I have leagues where I did just that. They're both out this week. Yeah, it's getting kind of ugly. 4 weeks into the season, this is usually like week 8, right? Like we get here somewhere like week 8, week 9, we're like, I don't know what to do. So now I'm picking up people like Jalen Reagor on waivers in redraft. It got that ugly at points last year. Who's not ugly? Our friend Toronto Dave popping in the chat with the party emojis. It's Friday, Dave. Of course, it is always a party around here. Guys, if you're watching us on the X machine, formerly known as Twitter, make sure that you know you can drop your comments in here. We can now see them. We will be able to answer for you. Albert dropping in from YouTube saying, hello, everyone. Albert, it's great to see you. We're going to step right into this, what I was just kind of referencing here. Tank Dell, Devonta Smith, Devontae Adams, Joe Mixon are all ruled out for the weekend.
Ooh, Mixon's out?
Mixon is out. So now we're looking at a Cam Akers-led backfield in Houston, which I'm not excited about. I had Akers probably too high in my rankings last week. They're not going to use him the same way. And with Tank Dell out, I think this all of a sudden becomes a very heavy Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz week in Houston. Schultz has the highest odds for an anytime touchdown right now in Vegas. So are these guys, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz, specifically these two, are these guys who are kind of rocketing up in your rankings this week and where you're going to want to start them?
I guess Dalton Schultz can be as high as tight end 2 because who else is it going to be?
Yeah.
McBride's out. Sam Laporte is looking like he's going to be playing, but I don't feel great about that either. You know, it's basically Brock Bowers and then everybody else is tight end 2. So if you feel good about it, good for you.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Now with Devonta Smith out, A.J. Brown did practice today, so he's hopeful to play. Is there anybody else in this Philly receiving core outside of Brown and Dallas Goedert that you would even consider rostering as like an emergency start this weekend? Paris Campbell?
Nope. No, there's nobody.
Not John Dotson?
Nope. There's no Jawan Jennings on any other team.
There is 100% not. Toronto Dave pointing out here that Nico Collins is banged up too, but he is probable to play. Yeah, he's going to play. He's hurt. Not great. We certainly wish he wasn't. But and like I was referencing earlier, A.J. Brown did practice today. He's hopeful for Sunday. He was limited. We'll see what happens. With Devontae Adams out, though, Matt, like, do they have a choice? They've got to try and get him out there, right?
I don't know. Jacoby Myers stepped up last week. I think he had a 20-something point game for the first time in a while. So I'd feel good about him, way better than anybody else on Philadelphia after A.J. Brown. And that really is a shame about all the Texas receivers because they're going up against Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's just terrible. I think out of something like 155 cornerbacks in the league, neither of the starting cornerbacks for Jacksonville are in the top 150. So they're just terrible. You want to play any receivers that you have against Jacksonville, period.
Yep. Oh, 100%. And if you're in a league that starts defenses, this would be a really good week to start Houston's defense against Jacksonville. They're third worst scoring offense in the league. They're averaging 13 points a game. And I want to talk about that. This Jacksonville Jaguars team, Matt, Trevor Lawrence specifically, is this a symptom of the offense, or are we just kind of seeing what Trevor Lawrence is as a quarterback? Because it's starting to feel like this is just what he is.
I think it's more about the coach. Doug Peterson's got to be on the hot seat at this point. He's had, out of all of his seasons, I think he's had one good season, and that's when he won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles up in Philadelphia. Really? I don't think he's a very good coach. I don't know why he gets all the credit for being a good coach. I don't think long-term Trevor Lawrence is bad. I think short-term Jacksonville's going to be bad under Doug Peterson.
I saw some prominent member of the fantasy community ask the question: did Urban Meyer ruin Trevor Lawrence, or did Trevor Lawrence ruin Urban Meyer?
Let's bring him back, see what happens.
Right. I mean, I think we know the general answer to that question, but I also wonder if maybe we gave Trevor Lawrence too much of a pass because of Urban Meyer.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a sustained, terrible situation. And
Okay.
he's good. He's just not going to be good this year.
I mean, he was 21 of 38 against Buffalo in a blowout. It's not bad.
Great.
Not great. It's 22 fantasy points, though. It's something. It's better than you're getting out of. It's better than you're getting out of Will Levis. Yeah.
True.
I don't know. It's more than you're getting. I mean, you're not even getting that out of Mahomes some weeks.
True, but Mahomes is on a good offense that's going to score touchdowns, and I don't know if that's going to be true for Jacksonville. He's just a non-factor this year.
Okay, then how do you feel about the running backs? Because of
I still like
situation
ETN.
in the passing game.
I still like ETN. I'm always going to be an ETN fan. I don't know what it is. I've liked the guy since he came out. I gave him a free pass in his injured rookie year, and he's just quietly the RB6 when he gets touchdowns, and let's hope those come.
No, I mean, yeah, I think they
were
will.
The last true workhorses.
Well, that's the only way they're going to score. And I really thought after week 1 that Bigsby was really going to take a chunk of that work, but it seemed to be an aberration. Why do coaches do coaches not know that we play fantasy football? I don't know, man.
They should have some more respect for us.
Right? I don't disagree. For everybody who is watching, guys, please get those comments, those questions in the chat. We are here until 6:45 Eastern answering your questions. I have to go get my kid a haircut, man. It's picture day on Tuesday. So we got to get out of here for that. But we are here until 6:45 p.m. Eastern to answer your start, sit, trade, roster questions, anything you can throw at us. It's fantasy football related. And while you're here, please like this video and subscribe to the Optimus Fantasy Football channel. We are live 5 days a week with start, sit, waiver, DFS. We've got all of it. The Nate and Herm show on Wednesday nights. It's a bunch of nonsense, but it's fun. We do what we do. I want to talk about another injury because it just seems to be the theme of the season, Matt. Chris Olave suffers an injury at practice today, hamstring injury. All of a sudden, he's questionable for Sunday. When we tend to see these kinds of injuries in practice on Fridays, these guys don't play. So now we're talking about Chris Olave out. Alvin Kamara is questionable, that hip and rib injuries. How do you feel about Rashid Shaheed this week? Put up a big stinker last week. Do you think with Olave out, does Shaheed have a wide receiver 1 week in him?
Maybe wide receiver 1, probably not. I'd feel a lot more comfortable with him than anybody on Philly that you're naming. Yeah, he's definitely worth a dart throw. And in these trying times, Rashid Shaheed or Jacoby Myers are going to be your week winners.
In these trying times, may I please offer you this egg? And Toronto Dave says the need for Shaheed. I need Shaheed to score some points for me because I am getting crushed in my home league thanks to Christian McCaffrey, Tua, and Jordan Love. Oof. And now Tank Dell too, which that really, really does not feel super great. We've got Tyler Moore dropping into the chat with our first question of the day. Tyler Moore wanting to know, should I start Rachaad White or Calvin Ridley in my flex position? Is Olave officially out? Olave is not officially out. He is officially questionable. We probably, honestly, with these Friday injuries, they're going to see what he can do tomorrow. They're going to see what he can do in warm-ups before the game. He's likely to be like a late-time decision to be on the inactive list. And if he's not inactive, I don't expect him to get a lot of playing time, more than likely, would be my guess. Now, to the question, Rachaad White or Calvin Ridley, Matt, which side are you on this?
I guess Ridley. Good luck.
Well, yeah.
Take your pick.
The problem is Rachaad White is just such an inefficient runner. And he's simply not going to get the carries because Bucky Irving's just a much better back. I love Rachaad White. I think his value in this offense is nearly dead. I mean,
it's a shame. And if Bucky Irving is on your waiver wire, definitely go get him. He's showing up.
Yes.
The coach is saying that he's going to get a lot more play, and he's been averaging close to double digits. He's going to start showing out. Rookies take a couple weeks to ramp up. I think through the second half of the season, he's going to be possibly a high-end RB2. He's probably going to be better than Rachaad White for the rest of the season. I'll just go ahead and make that long shot call right now, but it shouldn't be that long shot because
it's
Rachaad
not.
White's just not doing much. No, it's not.
Okay, Bucky Irving is averaging 6.16 yards per carry right now. Rachaad White is averaging 2.13 yards per carry right now. Rachaad White's caught 12 of his 13 targets. Irving's caught 5 of his 6. So once they start giving Bucky Irving the volume, I think we could almost forget about Rachaad White like he's Tank Bigsby.
Wow.
Bummer. I know, man. Bummer. B. Ruckus in the chat over there on YouTube. Hey, guys, I can't believe I am benching Jacobs for Deontay this week. I
can believe it. I'm just proud of you for having a good enough team that you can flex either of those guys. That's pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, Deontay should have a good week. Andy Dalton's getting rolling. I'm looking forward to it. I have a little higher in my rankings this week than I think some people do, but whatever. They didn't yell at me when I posted them. So Tyler Moore in the chat saying, dang, if Olave is out, I got to start Ridley or Rachaad White. My other choices are Charbonnet or DeMarcus Robinson. Start Charbonnet.
Definitely start Charbonnet. He's looking really good. As long as he's definitely a start.
Yep. Now, Robert Mitchell in the chat dropping in. He wants to know if Olave questionable, should he start Khalil Shakir or Christian Kirk? I'm going Khalil Shakir.
I am too. The dude's getting close to double-digit targets every week. He's Josh Allen's number one target. He could be a rich man's Wan'Dale Robinson. I like Khalil Shakir. He's a comfortable start right now.
Here's what I love the most about Khalil Shakir. 14 targets, 14 catches, 168 yards. He has caught every single target.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah. Tyler Moore saying he's going to try and get Irving. You definitely should go get him. That's a team that is good that needs a bigger run presence. If Tampa Bay can start effectively running the ball and that opens up Mike Evans and Chris Godwin even more, my God, can you imagine what Baker Mayfield could be? He could be like the honorary QB1 for life after this season.
I think, speaking of Mike Evans, I think he's due for a positive regression. He hasn't shown up. I don't know if he's hit double digits once this year out of the 3 games. Godwin is just exploding, but the first 4 weeks are usually an aberration compared to what we expect before the season starts. It usually regresses back to ADP being the wiser play after week 4. Mike Evans might be really, really cheap right now. You could probably get him thrown in a 2-for-1.
You probably could. Week 1, though, against Washington, 5 catches, 61 yards, and 2 tutties, 12.2 yards per catch. So I would assume
he's got it in him. He's still there.
He does every single week. The guy wakes up and eats 1,000 yards for breakfast. Like, what more do you want in a guy for consistency? He's going to get to 1,000 yards again this season. The slow start's a little weird, but also, I mean, like you said, the first 3-4 weeks, this is almost like preseason at this point. These guys aren't playing in the preseason. And you've got Chris Godwin playing well.
Yep.
So, and I really do believe that once this team can open up that run game a little bit, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin can both be fringe wide receiver 1 tier guys this season, any given week.
And to speak on you saying that the first couple weeks are preseason, it does kind of seem like that as teams are not really using preseason like they used to. So they're taking the first few weeks to ramp up. That's especially true for sit-outs like Brandon Ayuk. And we finally saw Jamar Chase have a really good game this last week, put up 30 points. With that being said, Ayuk might also be he might belong to a manager that's souring on him. He might be a really clever play. So out of the 3 players we've talked about so far that I'd be targeting, I'd be trying to get Bucky Irving, I'd be trying to get Mike Evans, and I'd be trying to get Brandon Ayuk because better days are ahead for all 3 of those guys.
Oh, 100%. B. Ruckus in the chat just wanted to let us know this is his team where he is benching Jacobs for Deontay. He has Lamar Jackson, Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs. Mason's backup wide receivers are Amon-Ra St. Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., Deontay. Tight ends, he has Andrews and Likely, and the rest honestly doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a pretty good team. So roll the dude. I love throwing Deontay out there. Boom week. Could be a boom week. Daniel Capps dropping in the chat. He's got this question for us, Matt. Need flex Shakir, Monty Pollard, Kirk Stevenson, or Rachaad White? It is full PPR. I'm going to keep on the Shakir train here.
Okay.
What do you think?
Fine by me. to go with Monty because Monty's just been tried and true. Dude's
That's
solid.
a fair point.
He's going to get you 17 points every single week. He's great.
Okay, so let's put it this way. The consistency play, the floor play is Chester over here saying play Monty, and I don't disagree with that at all. If you're up against a team that gets just an absolute ton of points or looks like they might and you need a boom play, Shakir could get 2 touchdowns for you, and that might be more than Monty can do for you.
Well, I'll tell you this. Monty through the first 3 weeks has gotten 16 points, 17 points, and 22 points. I'm not sitting Monty.
All right, then don't sit Monty. All right, listen to Chester over here. Daniel Camp saying huge Brock Bowers game. Yeah, with Devontae out, I think it's probably going to be a massive Brock Bowers game. Now, someone who might not have a massive game but has had a massive season so far, Alvin Kamara is questionable, Matt. Are you worried?
I'm not. I wouldn't worry about him. I think he sat on Wednesday. Wednesday's usually a veteran rest day, so I'm never worried about veterans sitting on a Wednesday. If it's if nothing showed up before that, there's a good chance that they just let him do a walkthrough.
Yeah, I mean, he had a 3-touchdown game 2 weeks ago. He didn't have a touchdown last week, but he just stacked up the yards. So yeah. I like Kamara this week. You have to start him. If he's in there, you've got to start him. We've got this comment in the chat from go ahead.
Yeah, he's number 2 in the league, only behind Saquon Barkley. So you're starting Kamara. You just pray that he's fine. He probably will be.
Oh, yeah, usually he's – a lot of the times these guys are fine. They're held back. They have to be designated. Tyler Moore in the chat, he's got another question for us. He says his QBs are Mayfield and Tua. I'm trying to hold on to Tua, but should I grab Caleb Williams after the game he had last week? In redraft, I am not really big on Caleb Williams right now. Let him have a really crappy week this week. So I think this is going to be I don't think he's going to play well. Let him not play well this week. Let him get back to a discount, grab him, stash him. By week 10 or 11, I think he's going to have some serious fantasy value. But before then, don't expect to play him if you're stashing him. So
here's the thing. It doesn't sound like you're going to have to pay anything for him if you need to pick him up. And if he has a big week, you won't get him. So I don't mind stashing him. It depends on who you have to drop. I'm totally okay with Baker and Caleb. Caleb's really good.
My dynasty brain is like, he's got to trade for him, of course. Mr. Scamper is in the chat saying, "Sup, boys? What is up, my favorite fantasy cat?" Now, we're going to get off this Alvin Kamara because got to show him the tea, right? We're going to get off Alvin Kamara here. This is okay. I've got a question for you, Matt.
Go ahead.
Deshaun Watson.
What's the question?
What's his long-term viability in Cleveland?
So you're talking about this year? Or you're talking about dynasty?
This year. Rest of season this season.
I can only talk to you about it in dynasty terms, and I sold him for a second in a Superflex league. I'm just done with him. I'm picking up James Winston wherever I can because he's probably free. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see James play the last 6 games of the season.
Oh, I wouldn't be either. I've been preaching to go get him. If you can stash him on waivers somewhere, like I don't know,
in Superflex, in Dynasty.
Yeah. Turner Dave saying long-term viability more like a liability. Am I right? Yeah.
Ayo.
We don't know how long he's actually going to be eligible to continue playing either. Some new accusations floating out there. So, Money Crazy Damien, he is asking in the chat, Matt. Dobbins for Reed. Don't have much wide receiver depth, just Evans, Rice, Jennings, and Robinson. Well, first of all, I'm going to say that's a pretty good wide receiver room. But I would move. If you can move Dobbins for Jaden Reed, I would do that.
Absolutely. Wonder who your RBs are that you can lose the depth there.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see that. So, Money, if you want to drop that in the chat so we can take a look at that, please do. Mr. Scampers wants to know, should he gamble with Olave or just play JMO? It's half PPR. I would lean towards playing JMO.
Well, you're not going to have to worry about it because the Saints play at noon, so you'll know whether or not you should play Olave. Yeah. I don't think they're going to march him out there if he can't do anything.
Fair point. Look at you looking at the schedule. Smart guy. I love it.
Do it.
We've got Chaka dropping in the chat. Trade Goldert and Coleman for Kelsey. It's PPR redraft. needs to clear up a roster spot. His other tight end is Ingram. Can he also just drop either Coleman, McConkey, or Hunt?
Drop Hunt.
Drop Hunt. Yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
Easy. If you can move Goddard and Coleman for Kelsey, I mean, I don't hate that. He's going to rebound, right?
I wouldn't do that. If you can get somebody who likes youth, maybe you can package Coleman and McConkey and go get Mike Evans.
No, I don't hate that. Okay. Steve562 wants to know, Matt, trade Carr for Carson Steele? Yes. 1,000 times over, do that.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
In a redraft 1 QB? Yeah, you could probably find somebody to fill in for Carr.
Sure.
Cool.
Oh, wait, I was taking it the opposite way. No, I would not give away Derek Carr for Carson Steele.
Okay, yeah, I'd probably be on the Carr end, but I don't play.
Yeah, no, I'm on the
play a lot of 1 QB, so maybe QB is really easy to fill in. But we did watch Carr be, QB2 over the first 2 games. This last game might have just been a little bit funky. Take either side of that.
Yep, exactly. All right, now money dropped in here. Somehow I made a few trades and got lucky with my running backs. He has CMC, Bijan, Kamara, Mason, Dobbins, Steele, and Chubb. Yeah, you're stacked. So that's a pretty good deal to make. Steve said he would still have Richardson and Darnold. Okay, that's fine, but you need to get more for Derek Carr. Carr for Steele straight up that's straight up highway robbery.
But I do like cross-positional trades. And if you can if you can send Derek Carr for Steele and then upgrade ever so slightly at another position, I like that. Cross-positional trades are definitely the best way to get leverage.
No, I love that. I have no problem with that. You need more back.
Yeah, just go to your trade partner and say, I'll do that, but I need to upgrade another position ever so slightly somewhere else, and get your worst position bolstered a little bit.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Joel Deb dropping into the chat saying, should I start Pittman, Pickens, or Jennings? I'm going to say Pittman is out for me this week because that Pittsburgh defense, I want nothing to do with him. And I mean, honestly, moving forward, I don't know how much I do.
Pickens is so good, but he's
Pickens
not
is good. No, I'm probably going to.
You have to start Jawan Jennings.
You have to start Jawan Jennings. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, no, I don't see any way around it. Right?
Easy pickings.
Yep.
Go for Jawan Jennings.
All right. Well, we have Josh Tross in the chat. He says he has 2 questions for us. They have not come in yet. So we're just going to hang out and kind of, hopefully wait for those to come in here. Guys, just please don't forget, while you are here, like this video and subscribe to this awesome fantasy football advice channel. We are here 5 times a week with advice live. We're going to start getting some more pre-recorded stuff going. This channel is going to be rolling by the end of the season. You guys are going to be so happy you were here on the front end of the madness. And also, just a quick little reminder, Sunday morning, myself, Casey Kasem, Mike Reedy, and friends will be on Reddit to answer your rabid start-sit fantasy football questions on Sunday. If you've got trade stuff, if you've got last-minute waiver stuff, we'll take that too. Anything fantasy football, get in early. We had almost 1,000 questions last week, 1,200 the week before. It's a madhouse. And the subreddit just hit 3 million users. So it's a lot of people, man. It's a fantasy football madhouse. Cool. It was the busiest subreddit in all of Reddit in August.
Nice. That's fun.
It was busier than the Harry Potter subreddit, dude.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying. The Harry Potter, usually the busiest. Yeah. So get over there. If you're not on Reddit, our fantasy football on Reddit, and then we'll answer all those questions for you on Sunday morning. We're going to get to as many of them as we can. It's not super easy to answer 1,000 questions. It's quite a.
Nate guarantees he'll do it. Nate guarantees to answer every question you have.
We're going to move on from that now. Chaka wants to know, do you think Kamara is a sell high with his rib injury, or do you think he'll be fine? Chester, you're the New Orleans person. What do you think?
I think he'll be fine, but everybody has a sell price. Just depends on what your team needs.
Great. 100%. Josh Trost back with his 2 questions, Matt. He's got a running back or a quarterback predicament this week. AR versus Pittsburgh, Levis or Dalton. Also, Keenan first week back, Ridley, Braylon Allen, or Michael Wilson against Washington. So I'm going to lean Dalton and Michael Wilson because Trey McBride is out.
That's a nice little piece. That's why we come to you. Yeah, Michael Wilson's pretty clever. Andy Dalton is going up against Cincinnati. I don't mind playing Andy Dalton if you're scared about Anthony Richardson laying up another dud like he has over the last 2 weeks. Anthony Richardson could also hit 35 points, but Andy Dalton hit 30 points last week, so Andy Dalton might be the play.
Most weeks I would say Anthony Richardson, but this Pittsburgh defense, their secondary is phenomenal. Anthony Richardson is wildly erratic with his arm. What he does best is run, but there's this guy on the other side of that line, Chester. He goes by the name of TJ Watt. And ain't nobody running away from TJ Watt. I don't care who you are.
Is Watt healthy?
Watt is healthy.
Okay, yeah. Go for Dalton.
This could be
Michael Wilson.
Yeah,
that's why we play the game, right?
Exactly. And if you're looking for a streaming defense special teams to start, Steelers are a really good option. I also like Houston this week.
Steelers are not just a great streaming option. Steelers are probably the best defense in the league.
They're my number one defense in my rankings this week.
Pretty easily, yeah.
No, it has to be. Yep. All right, guys. Well, it looks like things are slowing down. I've got to get my kid a haircut, and we've got to get on to our Friday night. If you have any more questions, guys, you can find us on Twitter at Optimus Fantasy. Send them over to team@optimusfantasy.com. You can find me on Twitter at Nate Polvogt. You can find Matt at FFMadJester. Probably don't DM him, though. Just tag him. I mean, especially if you have pictures of feet, though. Those are the ones he really likes.
Those you can DM for sure.
Yeah. We've got Tyler Moore saying thanks, guys. Dave saying great show. Dave, thank you so much for tuning in. Josh Truss says thanks, guys. Thank all of you, and please make sure while you're here, one more shameless plug. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It will help us keep coming to you 5 times a week with all of this awesome advice. We appreciate everyone who showed up, and we are going to get out of here. We'll see you next week. Adios.